Alright, Captain Lewis Belmont here. Promised y'all a comparison video between the i4s and the Sly Profits. Basically, some simple differences between the two. One, Profits, very well padded, really comfortable soft ears, the double strap, which is cool, good adjustable. The velvet lining in the foam is really nice. Same with the soft ears, and good squishy bounce material. It's got a chin strap and came with a gradient fade lens. The gradient works pretty well because usually you're not playing at sunset, so you can see out of the goggles just fine, and up here where the sun usually is still kind of shaded, which is kind of nice to keep you from the sun but still give you a clear view. I've always liked these. I played with them for about half a year now, and very nice. The hearing after playing with the i4s is a little spottier. It's definitely more muffled, but the protection is also a serious trade-off because the earpieces on the Profits definitely offer more stopping power and more comfort than the i4s do. But I can absolutely see where people get the idea about the hearing. Never had too much of a problem with them though. I'll also note that they're a little bit hotter because they come in under your face a little bit more. It makes it harder for your breath to really get out there. They're also a little bit heavier, but I still really like these, and definitely, for sure, going to keep these as my backup if I ever need them. And then over here are these i4s. I got a really cool color scheme, that's one thing. The mirror lens that I got with this one works much more like full-on sunglasses. You better be playing on a really bright day if you want to play with these. Also got the HD lens over here, so that's not so much sunglasses. Still gives you a little bit of that sun protection though. The strap, single strap, so that's one downside to it. One other thing again, the soft ears. That is probably one of the biggest things that people will bring up. They'll say that in the Profits you can hear a lot less. I'm not going to make that distinction completely. I could for sure hear farther with the i4s than I could with the Profits, but I'm not going to say it's a game changer. I can also say after taking a bounce off the side of the head, that one, the soft ears work, and two, it does hurt a lot more than it would have with the Profits. However, it probably bounced because it wasn't as substantial, if you know what I mean. Like on the Profits, if you look at the side, it's hard plastic and then that bounce material, but it's really thick, and so it's not really gonna absorb it as well, I don't think. Like, I think it would have more chance of just breaking than it would of bouncing off. On these, especially if it hits the ear rather than the plastic, you have a really good chance of it bouncing, also because it's so thin. And it is like that compression foam kind of stuff. It could definitely bounce off. Hurt my head a little while, really had to shake it off a little bit, but all in all, it did its job, and I was able to get the guy who came trying to take me out. But difference in the foam is really soft in the i4s, but it doesn't have that kind of quality with the lining. Same with the soft ears. There's much more comfort and protection in the Profits. But with that trade-off, these are much lighter. I will give it that. It is very easy to breathe in these, and the foam is incredibly comfortable. You could almost forget that you have these on. One thing that I will note that some people don't really talk about very much is the lens change system. Now that I figured it out, it's okay. But compared to the Profits, I honestly do like the Profit lens change system better. It's much simpler with the fact that you can just sort of pop one thing off, take off the strap and slip it out. Like, I honestly think that those steps are much more simple than what you have to do on the i4s, because in the i4s you're doing a lot of pushing and pulling and clicking different things into and out of place, and I honestly think that takes a lot longer than just pulling two little tabs and taking everything else out. Because, I mean, that's, honestly, you're doing that anyways. You're taking the strap off anyways. You're, the soft ears come out anyways. That doesn't even happen on the Profits. On the Profits, it's you take out these little clips, you pull out the strap, and then the lens comes right off. I do like the lens change system much more on the Profits than on the i4s. But if you know what you're going to wear for the day, take them, wipe what you got to, and then clean it when you get home when you got time for it. But they're always bragging about how fast you can change the lenses and the quick change system, whatever. I hate the way that you have to apply all the pressure in different ways and everything like that, trying to work it out of these little slots. So I will say that up front. I do almost... I kind of despise the lens change system on here. When I was trying to figure that out, it was a freaking demon to try and figure out, because you don't have that manual sitting in front of you. If you buy these like secondhand or something like that, like I did, got them a lot cheaper than I should have. But still, I mean, like if you're looking at this, you've got a little button inside it that you have to push forward to push these things forward to then pull them out and take the thing out, and then you have to repeat that on the other side. And that in and of itself should take you about 20 seconds to just get the strap off. And then switch out your lens. That's easy enough. And then make sure that it's all the way in, because it's sort of a weird way to try and get it all flush and everything like that. I think they did a better job on the Profits, but these are still a really hot mask, and it is really easy to breathe in. And you don't have too much of an echo. I mean, it's okay, but it's probably about as good as you're going to get with a paintball mask. I mean, I can't imagine it really ever eliminating that echo unless you don't have anything covering your mouth. So, I mean, that's that. So, now that I've done that, basically, pros and cons to each side. Profits, a little bit hotter, a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker on the protection side. But also, better with the foam, definitely more high quality. Like the foam on the i4s is actually peeling off a little bit, and I do absolutely attribute that not to how the guy before me treated them, but to the way that they were put together. I get that they're awesome and light and easy to breathe in, everything like that. I like the lens change system better on the Profits. The weight, the heat, and the hearing are for sure better on the i4s than they are on the Profits. So I mean, also like little things like that double strap and the chin strap and everything like that, you know it's not going to pop off. I've never seen anyone have problems with their Profits popping off, because if you got that strap on top of your head and on the back of your head and then you got this thing underneath your head, it's not going anywhere. So I mean, take with it what you will, determine what's most important for you, and then honestly the best way to figure anything out, like people always talk about how small the i4s are. They fit my face perfectly. I mean, like, you can barely see the edge of my face, and when I'm looking at myself in the mirror in those, and it's like just down here, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to manage to nick a ball in there. So I mean, it's up to you. Give them all a try. Maybe you'll love events. I don't know, but some people swear by ProFlexes. Find something in between, the new eFlex. I don't know. Give everything a shot. Find out what's right for you. That's all I can really offer for everybody up there. But that's my 2 cents. Take from it what you will. Alright, Captain Lewis Belmont. I'll see you all in a video or two. Peace off.